Right, so, picture this. You're at a party, right? The music is loud, people are laughing, and the room is buzzing with energy. But there you are, feeling like a fish out of water. You're expertly weaving through all the chat, clutching your drink like it's a shield. It's your trusty companion, your safety net in this sea of social interaction. You're scanning the room, thinking about escape routes, and coming up with polite excuses just in case someone tries to talk to you properly. Maybe you're even planning your exit strategy, just in case things get too intense. Sound familiar? Congratulations, me duck, you might be a dismissive avoidant. It's not a bad thing, just a way of navigating the world. Now, don't worry. It's not like a doctor's diagnosis or anything, it's more like a personality trait. Something that can help you understand yourself better. It's just a starting point. A way to begin exploring why you might feel the way you do in social situations. We all have different ways of dealing with relationships, and understanding yours can be a right game changer. It can help you navigate social events with more ease and confidence. It's like finally finding the right instructions for that flat-pack furniture you've been struggling with. Suddenly, everything makes sense, and you can see how the pieces fit together. Today, we're talking about attachment styles, those hidden things that shape how we connect with other people. They influence our relationships, our interactions, and even how we feel at parties. And we're going deep into the world of dismissive avoidance, where being independent is everything and showing your feelings is, well, best left to superheroes. It's a way of protecting yourself, of keeping your emotions in check. And even then, we're not so sure. But understanding this about yourself can be empowering. It can help you find new ways to connect with others without feeling overwhelmed. So next time you're at a party, remember, it's okay to feel out of place. It's okay to need a moment to yourself. And it's okay to be a dismissive avoidant. Embrace it, understand it, and use it to navigate the social seas with confidence. Think of attachment styles as a secret code for understanding why we act the way we do in relationships. These styles are like hidden scripts that guide our behaviors, emotions, and interactions with others. They can explain why some people crave closeness while others need space. Just like there are different ways of showing love, we all have different ways of giving and receiving it, based on what happened to us when we were little. Our early experiences with caregivers shape our attachment styles, influencing how we connect with others throughout our lives. Dismissive avoidants, they're like the philosophers of the relationship world. They often appear self-sufficient and detached, preferring to rely on their own resources rather than seeking support from others. They value being independent more than anything and keep their feelings locked up tight, like a prized collection of football stickers. This meticulous control over their emotions helps them feel safe and in control. This doesn't mean they don't want connections, but they've learned to rely on themselves to avoid getting hurt. Their self-reliance is a protective mechanism, a way to shield themselves from potential pain and disappointment. Remember Epictetus, that philosopher bloke? He had a lot to say about how we perceive the world and our place in it. He said, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things." This wisdom is particularly relevant for dismissive avoidants, who often judge intimacy as something to be wary of. For dismissive avoidants, the thing is often intimacy, and the judgment? Scary, messy, best avoided. They may struggle with vulnerability, fearing that opening up will lead to rejection or loss of control. Understanding these patterns can help us navigate our relationships with more empathy and insight. So why do dismissive avoidants push people away? Is it because they secretly hate kittens and walks on the beach? All right, maybe some do, but that's not the point. Truth is, it often comes from a deep-down fear of being vulnerable. Opening up emotionally can feel like walking a tightrope for someone with this attachment style. And nobody wants to fall flat on their face, right? This fear can come from things that happened in the past, especially when they were kids. Imagine a kid learning that showing sadness just meant being ignored. Over time, they learn that being vulnerable equals pain, and who can blame them for wanting to avoid that? Dismissive avoidance. are the kings and queens of looking after themselves. They've built their lives around being independent, capable, and not needing anyone. They're the ones you call when you need help moving or want a sensible solution to a problem. But here's the thing. While being self-sufficient can be a superpower, it can also be their weakness. By building those emotional walls, they accidentally block out the very connection they secretly want. It's like having a kitchen full of amazing food, but never actually cooking anything. But don't worry, just knowing this is a big step. It's about finding a balance between being independent and needing other people, between protecting yourself and letting people see the real you. So how can you tell if you're a dismissive avoidant? Here are a few signs. Do you make excuses to avoid parties or close moments? Is it easier to show your feelings with emojis than actual words? Does the thought of someone relying on you make you want to disappear? Do you pretend close relationships aren't important and prefer being alone? If you said yes to any of these, welcome to the club. But remember, it's not about giving yourself a label. It's about understanding yourself better. It's about seeing the things that might be stopping you from having the close, happy relationships you deserve. Right. The good news is, you don't have to be stuck in your emotional fortress forever. It's completely possible to break down those walls and let others in, even if it feels daunting at first. Here are a few tips for letting people in. Knowing yourself is key. Spend some time reflecting on your feelings and behaviors. Journaling can be a great way to understand your thoughts and emotions better. Realizing you have these avoidant tendencies is the first step. Acknowledge them without judgment. It's okay to have these feelings. What's important is recognizing them. It's about saying, all right, I build walls, so what? This self-awareness is empowering. It allows you to take control and make conscious decisions to change. Then challenge those negative thoughts. Replace them with positive affirmations. Remind yourself that being open and vulnerable is a strength, not a weakness. Is being vulnerable really a weakness, or is it actually really brave? Opening up to someone can be incredibly empowering and can strengthen your relationships. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. This ancient wisdom still holds true today. Realize this and you will find strength. Meditation and mindfulness can help you gain control over your thoughts and emotions, making it easier to let people in. You choose how you see vulnerability. Start small. Take little steps towards being more open. Each small step builds your confidence and makes the next step easier. Take little steps towards being more open. It could be as simple as sharing a small detail about your day with someone you trust. Share something small with a friend and see how it feels. Notice the positive reactions and the support you receive. Practice saying no when you need to. Setting boundaries is a crucial part of letting people in. It shows that you respect yourself and your needs, or let someone help you. Accepting help is not a sign of weakness. It's a way to build trust and connection with others. Change takes time, so be patient with yourself. Personal growth is a journey, not a destination. Celebrate your small victories along the way. Give yourself a pat on the back for your progress. Recognize and appreciate the effort you're putting into becoming more open and connected. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Seeking support from others is a sign of strength and can make the journey easier and more rewarding. Let's talk about vulnerability. I know it sounds scary, especially if you're a dismissive avoidant. But here's the thing. It's the secret to real connection. It's what lets us see and be seen, to love and be loved, even with our imperfections. When you're vulnerable with someone, you're saying, I trust you enough to see this part of me, even though it's terrifying. And that's brave. It's about taking a chance and trusting that the right people will be there for you. Ever feel like your emotions are all over the place, especially when it comes to intimacy? That's where managing your feelings comes in. It's like having a toolbox to help you deal with those big feelings without shutting down or pushing people away. When you're feeling overwhelmed, instead of running away, take a few deep breaths, try mindfulness, or do something that makes you feel calm. It's about learning to handle your emotions without letting them ruin your relationships. Dealing with relationships can be tough. especially when you're trying to change deep-seated patterns like dismissive avoidance. You don't have to do it alone. Getting professional help, like therapy or support groups, can give you the tools and support you need. You'd see a doctor if you were physically ill, right? Well, our emotional health is just as important. Therapy gives you a safe space to explore your attachment style, challenge negative thoughts, and build healthier relationships. So what do you think? Do any of these things sound like you? How have you dealt with them? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, liking, subscribing, and sharing this video helps others find this information too. We're all in this together, eh?